I found these Chinese Chippendale style end tables curbside while I was shopping and antiquing with my friend Terry. What a great find. And today I'm sharing how I'm totally transforming them and turning them into something modern and beautiful. I'm also sharing why you might want to use a clear bonding primer, a quick and easy way to update with one paint color, and how to add cane rattan to furniture. Hi, I'm Denise at Salvaged Inspirations. Welcome back to my furniture painting DIY channel. Let's get started. I found this pair of Chinese Chippendale style end tables sitting on the curb waiting for garbage pickup. And while most people probably saw outdated furniture, I saw incredible potential. Structurally, they were actually in really good shape. They had solid lines, beautiful lattice detailing, and glass inset tops, but visually they definitely felt heavy and dated. The finish was a little worn. As I said, I wasn't fond of the color, and they just didn't really fit with a more modern aesthetic anymore. But underneath all that, I could definitely see that they could be something pretty spectacular. And with the right finish, look totally different and modern. To start prepping these tables for their makeover, I removed the glass top and cleaned these tables with a heavy-duty furniture cleaner and a large automotive sponge. You'd be amazed at how much dirt, grime, furniture polish, and residue can build up over the years, and paint will not adhere properly if you skip this step. So I cleaned the entire surface really well, including the underneath, the underbelly of these tables, and especially around all the detailed lattice work and corners. And I just like using a dollar store brush to really scrub in there and get into all those little nooks and crannies. To repair the missing piece of wood, I use this 2-part wood epoxy, and it's really fun and easy to use. It reminds me of when I was in grade school and I got to play with Play-Doh. I take equal amounts of part A and part B and knead them together in my hands until the color is totally uniform. And to make this repair a lot stronger, I actually added some trim nails, and that kind of acts like a rebar or extra support for the putty to hold on to. Paint stick in back, I clamped the paint stick just to get a nice straight line in back. And I have to say this wood epox is very malleable. It molds to curves very easily, so you can just shape it as you need. Once everything was dry, I brought the 2 tables into my sanding room and gave them a really good scuff sanding. I wasn't trying to strip the tables down completely. I just wanted to scuff sand the existing finish enough to help the primer grab onto the surface better. Once all the dust was removed, it was time for primer. I recently ordered some more stain-blocking clear bonding primer. And unlike traditional white or gray primers, a clear primer seals the surface without altering the wood's natural tone or whatever finish you're applying it to. So it makes clear primer a great option when you want to preserve some wood detail or avoid any color distortion. Clear primers work great if you do any sort of distressed or vintage finishes where you want some original finish to peek through. And just like regular white or gray primers, it also helps to improve the paint adhesion and can reduce blotchiness, odors, and bleed through. So if you wanted a primer that could work for, solid finishes and or finishes that had the wood peeking through, this is the way to go. It just gives you that option. While my primer was drying, I started prepping the cane rattan. And this is the detail that took these tables from a nice makeover to a designer-inspired statement piece. I've been loving cane and natural textures for I don't know how many years because they add so much warmth and character to furniture. And since these tables already had glass inset tops, it created the perfect opportunity to add a cane rattan insert underneath that glass. To prepare the cane rattan for installation, I rolled it out onto my work table. It feels stiff and it wants to roll back onto itself, so I like to use 2 large paint cans on either end to hold it down. Then using a measuring tape, I measured the length and width of the table inserts where the rattan will be installed. I transferred those measurements to the rattan and cut it using a straight edge and a box cutter. I'm not going to share the exact measurements because your project is going to be very different than mine. However, I will suggest that you add on an extra ½ inch or even a full inch to all the sides if you're not used to working with the rattan. Plus, it does tend to fray. So the more, if you have an inch all the way around larger than your actual measurement, that'll be plenty for you to work with. Once cut to size and I had all my pieces, I added some water to my work sink and soaked the rattan probably for, it was at least half an hour. I think it was probably in there for maybe 40-45 minutes. The reason for doing this is it softens it up. It really makes it more pliable and easier to work with. Now, I like doing it after I have made my cuts, but you could certainly do this with the full roll as well before doing your cutting. But I just let my pieces soak for a while, then I brought them out, laid them on a towel, and let them dry overnight. And now for the fun part, the paint color. I was originally going to use coffee bean, which is one of my favorite chalk paints. It's a gorgeous brown black, but then I changed my mind to black sand silk all-in-one mineral paint. This is a classic soft black, and I thought it would be a really nice contrast with the natural rattan. So I painted 2 coats for full coverage. This paint can be sprayed or brushed on. It self-levels beautifully, and the primer and top coat are included, so it's a huge time saver as well. Once I had brushed on 2 coats of paint and let everything dry overnight, I came back the next morning to install the cane rattan onto these tables. I flipped them over onto my work table, and I like using a pneumatic upholster gun, but if you have a manual stapler, that will work just as well. So to install, I place the previously cut and soaked cane squares onto the back with the front side facing down. I like using 1 staple on each side, stretching the rattan out before I staple it all in. Because the rattan can fray, I suggest adding quite a few staples so everything is held in place nicely. Another tip when installing this rattan cane webbing is to keep it all lined up. Make sure that this cane webbing is lined up with one of your edges. So when you flip the table over and it's installed, when you're looking at it, the pattern is going to look dead straight with the table because everything will be lined up. And once you get into the groove of stapling this in, it goes very quickly. So as I mentioned, I use the silk all-in-one paint, which includes the top coat as well. So no spray finish was required. The very last step was to clean the 2 glass inserts with some window cleaner and then put them back onto the end tables. And just as a reminder, here's the before. And here's the after. I just love the contrast between the natural rattan and soft black finish. I hope you enjoyed today's makeover and how I salvaged these curb shop tables into something modern and lovely. I love the way they turned out, and another save from our landfill. Feel free to leave me a comment down below. I read every single comment and I love hearing from you. You can also find us over at salvagedinspirations.com and sign up for our free newsletter so you get every makeover sent right to your inbox. Also, feel free to like and subscribe here on YouTube. And till next project, have a great week. My fur baby distracted me. No. Okay. She does not want to say hello. Until next project, have a fabulous week. Bye, guys.